Imagine living in a snow globe where the air around you is so cold that the clothes you wear could be life or death. But they also tell a story of who you are. Russian traditional clothes differ from men and women in the culture. Russian traditional clothes differ from men and women, and they hold the culture of the people who wore them. While researching this topic, I saw a side of others that I did not know existed. I hope that by telling you what I learned, you can see a new view of someone else's culture and how it shaped them. I've always been fascinated with Russia, so I did extensive research related to Russian clothing, and I was quite happy with what I found. I read through many research papers and museum articles to tell you about Russian traditional clothing. I plan to tell you about Russian women's traditional garments, men's attire, and the meaning behind it. Firstly, women's clothes. The main piece that they wore was the seraphim, and the Oxford English Dictionary defines a seraphim as a long mantle, veil, or sleeveless cloak forming part of the national dress of Russian peasant women. The seraphim was usually made of linen, cotton, wool, and sometimes silk depending on the class. They were dyed bright, vibrant colors depending on the age and marital status. The older women usually had darker colors. The seraphim was usually paired with a long sleeveless linen blouse called a rubica. Another piece that they wore was a kokoshnik, which is a headdress ranging from headbands to tall, intricate oriental headpieces that symbolize women's wealth and marital status. May Thu wrote in her study of traditional women's costumes, the traditional Russian costumes are specifically created to not only be beautiful, but also very convenient to wear. So this is a picture of the seraphim, their normal dresses, and then underneath it you can see the rubica, which is their linen thing, and then this is the ranges of headbands, headdresses they usually wore. So just simple headbands to more intricate, taller designs. While women's clothes are more intricate, men's wear is just as meaningful. The main piece of the men's wear was the kosovarakta, which was a loose-fitting shirt with an off-center collar. It was a practical garment made of linen or cotton. The loose fit made it comfortable and easy to move in for all the heavy labor that most of the peasant men did. But there was oriental versions made for higher status, for those of higher status or special events. To pair with it, they wore simple trousers, mostly plain colored, but bright belts. Russian clothes. So this is just a picture of what the men's outfits wore. They had the off-center collar, bright belts tied over the shirt. And even though Russia clothes seem like a lot, there was a reason behind all the bright colors, the designs, and the layers of fabric. Many parts of Russia was covered in snow or was just colder climate, so they made a lot of outfits that kept them warm. They were made from thick fabrics like wool or fur or cotton, and those many layers kept the cold out and the heat in. Outerwear also helped to face the cold, such as the shuba, which was just a heavy fur coat. Embroidery was also a big part of the clothes worn. The designs displayed on the clothing was said to guard the wearer from harm or evil, but also help attract good health and well-being. Russian traditional clothes were more than just the fabric, but identity played a huge role in the lives of all Russians. Tonight we talked about the Russian women's and men's traditional clothes and the meanings behind the styles and colors that they wore. I hope that through this talk you have a better understanding of Russian culture, because even now Russian culture still celebrates wearing their traditional garments, keeping Russia's culture alive.